You must have heard people say many times that the sky swallowed something or the ground vanished. But there is a place on Earth where people have claimed that such things actually happen. This place is in the west region of the North Atlantic Ocean between the state of Florida, Puerto Rico Island, and Bermuda. Since these 3 points form a triangle, this area is known as the Bermuda Triangle. However, due to the incidents that have occurred in this area, it has also been given other names such as the Devil's Triangle or the Limbo of the Lost. The question is, how did people start talking about this area? In 1950, light discussions about this area began in the media, but people first started calling it the Bermuda Triangle when Vincent Gaddis published an article in Argosy magazine in which he wrote that there is an area near Florida formed by 3 points where some strange activities are happening. When he wrote this article, the title was The Deadly Bermuda Triangle. Since then, whenever there has been a discussion about this area, people have called it the Bermuda Triangle. And to this day, it is still known as the Bermuda Triangle. The biggest problem with the Bermuda Triangle was that as soon as you entered this area, the radio would sometimes stop working, the compass would malfunction, and the readings of electronic devices would fluctuate. Along with this, planes from the sky and ships from the sea would also disappear, and the people aboard them would vanish as well. They disappeared in such a way that not even a single trace of them was found. As these incidents occurred, people started giving different explanations. Some said that there is a sea monster in this area, some claimed that aliens influenced this area, and some even linked it to the Illuminati conspiracy, but nothing was confirmed. If you search, you'll find that more movies, books, and documentaries have been made on the Bermuda Triangle than perhaps any other topic. In 1880, there was a ship named Ellen Austin, which set out from England to New York. After traveling for 2 to 3 weeks, the ship's captain, named Christian, decided to take an unplanned shortcut to reach faster, and this shortcut passed near the Bermuda Triangle. When the ship reached the Bermuda Triangle area, the captain spotted a small boat drifting a little distance away, moving erratically without any pattern. The captain tried to communicate several times, but there was no response. Initially, they were afraid, but after some time, the captain sent a few men to check why the boat wasn't responding. When they reached the boat, everyone was shocked because the entire boat was empty. There was no captain, no crew, no passengers, and all the things on the boat were intact with no damage. They decided to take the boat with them to New York and inform the authorities so that if any illegal activity was happening, it could be tracked. But when they started towing the boat towards New York, a huge storm arose, and for a while the boat disappeared. As soon as the storm subsided, the boat reappeared, but everyone was shocked because all the men who were towing the boat had disappeared while the boat itself was unharmed. After this, they left the boat there and continued to New York, and the next day a story spread everywhere. Another ship named Mary Celeste was supposed to sail from New York to Italy on November 7th, 1872. This ship was also filled with many people, and it was packed to the brim. But when the ship reached the Bermuda Triangle, it disappeared shortly afterward. It was searched for extensively, but was nowhere to be found. However, about a month later, on December 4th, 1872, the ship was found floating near the Bermuda Triangle. Those who spotted the ship informed the authorities, and a rescue team arrived. But the most surprising thing was that not a single person was found on the entire ship. The ship itself was undamaged. The dinner table was set with food, and the plates were arranged neatly, but the captain, crew, and passengers were all gone. Even to this day, there is no trace of those people. This group was named Flight 19. The entire group consisted of trainees, and there was one senior lieutenant named Charles. The training route included flying from Florida to Chicken Rock, where they would drop bombs, then head to Grand Bahama, and finally return to the Florida base. The weather was clear when they started, but 2 hours later, it deteriorated. Charles decided not to complete the task and instead return. Charles checked his compass, but it was malfunctioning. He checked the second compass, but it was also faulty. He coordinated with his team, and all their compasses were malfunctioning as well. The ground team tracking them realized that the entire group had lost direction. Another aircraft was sent to search for them, but it also disappeared. The last message from it was that something was burning 100 feet above, and after that, it vanished too. Christopher Columbus in his logs mentioned that when he reached the Bermuda Triangle from Europe, his compass stopped working and he lost his way. As Columbus continued traveling, he documented everything in his diary. In the year 1492, he wrote that the compass was not working and a candle-like light was falling from the sky. Bruce Gernon is one of the few people who survived the Bermuda Triangle. He regularly traveled from the Bahamas to Florida, which usually took about 1.5 hours. Once, while flying above 10,000 feet over the Bermuda Triangle, the weather was clear, there was no rain and no thunderstorms, but suddenly heavy clouds appeared and kept forming for a long time. The clouds were so dense that even a ray of light couldn't pass through. As Bruce continued forward, the clouds became heavier and the plane's instruments stopped working, including the compass. It felt as if some external force was controlling the plane. The ground team suddenly started receiving his location, but he didn't stop. He continued flying through the dense clouds, and after a while, the clouds dispersed. He contacted the ground team, but everyone was shocked because the plane had reached Florida in just 45 minutes, which was practically impossible. The distance of 250 miles should have taken 1.5 hours to cover because the maximum speed of that plane model was 180 miles per hour. So it wasn't practically possible to reach Florida in 45 minutes. They checked the fuel and it was still almost full with no reduction. Later on, Bruce wrote a book about this experience. The story I'm telling you has many more stories related to the Bermuda Triangle that have been written in books, made into movies, and documented in various forms. The reason behind this is that people enjoy mysterious stories. They like building connections with these stories because conspiracy theories are quite interesting, while real facts are a bit boring and don't sound as exciting. This is why such stories have become a business. One story claims that there was a civilization beneath the Bermuda Triangle where we interacted with aliens. If you search for movies on the Bermuda Triangle, you'll find countless films made on this topic. There are also many books with various stories, from aliens to the Illuminati. People have created stories based on their level of imagination, picking up data points from incidents that are 100 to 200 years old, which cannot be verified. We believe in anything. These stories about the Bermuda Triangle are still being sold, but if you do a quick Google search, you'll find that the Bermuda Triangle area doesn't even rank among the top 10 most dangerous regions. In fact, no country has even bothered to mention the Bermuda Triangle on their maps. The US Navy doesn't even acknowledge the term Bermuda Triangle. The Wikipedia definition of the Bermuda Triangle states that it is an urban legend, meaning it's a story told as if it were true, but with no evidence. The story has been propagated as a means of entertainment, but it has no relation to real life.